Everyone, welcome to another beautiful Monday with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, and the host today is me. Okay, and there's a reason why it's me. Only because so many people have reached out, and because I'm not kind of into all the technological stuff yet. Well, a little bit, but nonetheless, still. I wanted to give people a chance to get some of their questions answered, which I'm going to do today. How you all doing, everybody? Hope you all had a great weekend. Mine was productive also. There's a couple of things I want to do. One, I'm going to do the forecast when we do this. Secondly, I'm going to give a list of all the people that made donations. People have donated, and you know what happens is I have a way of looking at the comments after I do the interview because I'm trying to concentrate on going back and forth, making sure the banners and everything. It's quite a bit for those, well, at least for me anyway. For those of you who are maybe computer savvy, it's great. But what I wanted to do is do just that. So my first order of business is to give the cosmic forecast for today, this first Monday in December. Okay? And it is Monday, not Wednesday. Anyway, it's Monday, folks. Not Wednesday. It's Monday. Wednesday is the 7th. It is Monday. I knew something was up, but the sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Taurus. It's a 9 universal month. It's a 1 universal week. It's a 5 universal day. So Gemini, Virgos, and Aquarians are the ghost signs, and anybody born today on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd. So other than Wednesday, when it should have been Monday, I stand corrected. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe. And I do want to give a special thanks to Brother 19 Keeves. I was on this show about 2 weeks ago, and boy, have I been busy. And for those of you who have reached out to me because you've seen the segment that I did when I was on this show, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I really, really do. And I wanted to return the favor by at least having him on my show. And despite his busy traveling across the country, outside the country, he graced me with his presence last Wednesday. So anyway, there we go, folks. So now let me start with the list of people who donated. One of the first people to donate was here, as you see. And it was Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Williams out of Chicago. It was Sanchania, Pierre, and I say 5 affirmation. They've done that before. 9, Celeste Hill, then Ronnie West. These are the names. I hope I'm pronouncing them correctly. In addition, within the last couple of weeks, these have been the list of people that have donated. And I just said to myself, if these people who made a donation think it's going to go by without me saying something that's wrong. So there's Ski and Eric H. In fact, Eric H., he was trying to get on that day, and I think he's born November the 26th, which makes him a Sagittarius 8 person. So he's a fire sign with an earth number. His lucky numbers are the 8, 3, and 6. His best days are Saturday and Thursday and Friday. His best months are always in the months of January, March, and May, October, and December. And just when I looked at his name, Eric, that's 9, 10, 11. He has the master number 11 in his name. So his name tells me he would be very visionary. He would do very well in computers, electronics, and mechanical, mathematical sciences, engineering, technology, things like that. And he will attract astrologically those under the signs of Leo and Aquarius, and Cancer will be drawn to him. If not, those that are born on a date that adds up to the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, and 29th of any month. Then there's Kendall Arrington, Sun Sign X, A New York LLC, me, Hunter Coleman, Valencia. Well, these are all the names here. And I have a couple more names, but I wanted to acknowledge everyone within the last few weeks that have made a donation to the Live with Lloyd show. I greatly appreciate it. Now, I'm looking at some of these other shows, how people do theirs, and how evidently they got more than 1 or 2 computers going on because they'll, as they come in, they give acknowledgement. But listen, I didn't say I knew how to do all of this at that rate. But the point is, I want to make sure that everybody who has made their donation, and then, by the way, there's one more set, okay, one more set of names, and here we are, okay. So, P Spot, the Golden Seal Herbs, Delano Sanders, Valencia, Delon Wilson, Karima the Goddess Creative, Kali Smith, Queen Dern Rue, and my girl Kali, all right, a Virgo, who is born on September the 16th in the year that never you mind, okay? That's because I don't remember right now. That's why, never you mind. But anyway, I just wanted to acknowledge all the people who will do this. So if you do make a donation, let me take this off a second, folks. So if you do make a donation, right, and I don't kind of like say something right then and there, I kind of don't know until later on. I'm getting more sophisticated. Yes, I've been doing this over a year. People say, well, Lloyd, how long you been doing this? But listen, it's a process for me, but I think it's pretty good. I try to focus more on my guests, try to ask questions that viewers may want to know about. That's why I ask a lot of questions, because I'm trying to assume that I'm a viewer, and if I heard a word and I don't know it, I'm going to ask them. If I heard of something that I'm not familiar with, I'm going to ask. But all of this is a part of trying to raise my viewers' awareness and consciousness of things, okay? So, all right, so we're going to open up these comment sections, and anybody who have any questions, I'm going to get to everybody. It says, how would I make a donation? I don't know. But I know this. Please like, share, and subscribe. That's what you can do. Okay? Somebody will give you a clue, I guess. This is, we're going to start backwards. This is Jaleesa Woke. She is a Virgo. Oh, Belisa is woke. That means she's aware. Okay, good. We all need to be woke nowadays. But anyway, regardless of that, she is a Virgo 9 person, which means she's... Now, let me tell you how I start by reading people and how I teach the students. One of the simplest ways to start off is by reading the elements. As you can see, for those of you who know astrology, she's a Virgo. For those of you who know numbers, they know she's a number 9. But the way I do it in describing a person, she is an earth sign, which is the element that rules the sign of Virgo, with a fire number, because fire rules that element. So that means she's pragmatic and practical. She is punctual and yet very determined to do things. So her lucky numbers, by the way, are the 9, 5, and 6. And her best days are always, without question, on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. And looking at her cycles this particular year, she is going to be in I believe a 6 personal year, okay? And that simply means 7, 7. Yeah, she's going to be in a 6 personal year, so that means it's going to be her year to fall in love, fall out of love, go back to school, whatever the case is. But her lucky numbers are always the 9, the 5, and the 6 in that order, okay? Anything else won't do. All right, so let's go to this person, Jessica Stillwell. Hi, Jessica. She is February the 23rd. Now, she is a water sign with an air number. Water means someone it means one who expresses themselves deeply, emotionally, intuitively, you know what I'm saying, with an inner knowing, things of that nature. But yet, she's an air number, so she has the best of both worlds. She has intuitions, and she has an emotional component to her too, as well as a very logical insight from the air number. So it tells me she feels things, and she would do well with writing, things of that nature. She will be entering a 5 personal year, and since she's born on the 23rd, that means she is about to do very, very well, actually over the next 2 years, because her numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 3. So she's in a 5 personal year for 2023. That means she's going to be in a 6 personal year for 2024. So I would expect her to do very, very, very well. So that's what I expect out of that one. So now I'm going to go back. And so anyway, if there's a specific question, fine, that I think I can answer it with intelligence, okay? No, Lloyd Strayhorn doesn't know everything, I mean, I'm never. You see all these books I got behind me? Listen, no one knows everything. Okay, but let me go to Jarrell Young. Now, Jarrell Young is born the same day as Tupac Shakur. I just did a brief discussion on him about him and the number sevens and how everything followed him and whatnot. Even when he was shot at and killed at age 25, which is his seven. But anyway, back to you, Jarrell Young. You are an air sign with a water number. So now this may seem contradictory, but it means there's the logical component you use, and then there's the intuitive component that you also possess. And so, in light of that, it's like, how do you find that balance? How do you find that balance when your logic is talking to you, and yet when your intuition's about things, where sometimes it goes completely out the window? Alrighty? So, that's what makes the difference. And so, in this case, Geminis love the question, sevens love the question. So I would say Jarrell is a questioning person. Plus, when I glance at the name, they got a lot of twos in their name. They got fives in there. They got 1, 2, 3 fives, and fives rules Gemini. So that means a kind of a love for their curiosity, a love for their freedom, and a love for their privacy at the same time too. So their lucky numbers are the 7, 2, and 5, and Mondays and Wednesdays are always their best days without exception. Okay? That's how we do that. All right, so let's see what we got here. And thanks, Sea Goddess Creative World. I think she was one of the people who donated earlier. So again, I want to give everybody props. So if you don't get it that day, you will get it. Okay? It just takes me a minute. And one day maybe I have somebody working with me here so they can kind of look and help me make all these things. So as soon as you make donations, I can give you your props right on the spot. But you're going to get it anyway. It makes no difference. You're going to get it anyway. All righty? So let's see now. Let's see. I'm looking for some birthdays. Here we go. Tony T. Okay, Tony. Now look at all the twos that's in this person's birthday. You know how when you do a name, right, and you put the letters underneath, I teach my students, look to see what letter repeats itself the most, or what letter or number rather is missing, because the numbers assigned to the letters will tell you a lot. So if you got a person with a lot of ones running through their name, I don't care what their sign is or what their number is, more than likely, just by the name alone, this is going to be a very assertive person. They're going to want to achieve some sense of leadership, some sense of authority, some sense of heading over things. And so when I look at Tony, in fact, the name Tony adds up to 17, which is an 8. So his name, because they call him Tony, I don't know whether he was actually born Anthony, but if he's born Anthony, that takes a certain vibe. But if he's born Tony, that's 17, which brings to him Capricorns, it brings to him Aquarians, it brings to him Libras, and anybody born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th, and it brings to him older relationships too. The fact that he's got all those twos to his birthday would suggest to me, as I jokingly say, that women will prove to be his blessing and his curse at some point in time along his life. Or I find that men with a lot of twos, like this person does on their birthday, will work around a lot of women or have a lot of female supervisors or daughters more than sons. You know what I'm saying? There are always exceptions, but normally as a general rule, as they say, okay, nothing's locked in stone, but his key numbers are the 2, 7, 4, and 1. So this person has 4 numbers as compared to about 95% of the people that only have 3 numbers. And his best days are always on Sunday and Monday, and in a minor way, Wednesday, okay? So that's what I am seeing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, yo, please hit the like button and whatnot. And there's some people that have donated. I don't know kind of how that, let me see. Okay, I am Jan Marie. Can I click on it and bring it to the screen? No, I don't know how to do that. But this person says I am Jan Marie, and they're born January the 17th of 2006. So therefore, this person would be a double Capricorn in the sense that that part of the year is ruled by Capricorn. The number 8 is also governed by Saturn, which governs Capricorn. So that's why I said it. She's sharing, well, yeah, this person shares the same birthday as Muhammad Ali and a couple other famous people of note. But nonetheless, it tells me that this person is super practical. Actually, there's this person is a triple eight across the board because they're in the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by the eight. They're born on the 17th, which is ruled by the eight. And if you notice the year they're born in, 2006, that year adds up to an eight. So it tells me without question, almost always, that one of the parents of this particular person is either Capricorn, Aquarius, or Libra, or born on the 4th, the 8th, the 13th, the 17th, the 22nd, 26th, or 31st of any month. And it also tells me as this person gets older, their life gets a lot better. So especially between their 33rd and 35th birthday as a general rule. All righty. And by the way, their lucky numbers are the 8, 6, and 3. And Saturday and Fridays and Thursdays are their best days. Thanks, Jan-Marie, for that. Okay, let me see. Then there's another person who made a donation named Johnny Boyd, and they're born the 5th of December. Happy birthday today. Okay, Walt Disney was born on this day. I think, what was his name? Nostradamus, I think, was born on this day. A couple other famous people was born on this day. The late cowboy Roy Rogers was born on this day. And a couple other famous people, no, but nonetheless, there's you. That makes you different, okay? But let me tell you about you. You are a fire sign with an air number. Now, these are elements that mix very well. That's why they will tell you, if you're in a room and there's a fire that breaks out, the one thing you do not do, that is, if you want to get out in one piece, you don't open the windows, which is air, and you don't open the door, which is air, because air is what used to bring and combust fire and make it grow. So when you hear about those California fires, for example, and they burning thousands and thousands of acres of land, what are they waiting for? The wind to calm down. So despite all the efforts they're making, they can't do anything until the wind calms themselves down a little bit, then they'll be all right, okay? Let's see, this is Edwin Thomas. I don't know how come I can't pull these up here, but Edwin Thomas, thank you very much. They did not give up, but they did make a donation, so I want to thank them very, very much for that. Also, Anthony Patterson. Now, Anthony is born October 8th, since we're talking about 8s, okay? So this is a business person. This is a very serious-minded person. This is a person for Anthony Patterson who just made a donation. Thank you very much for that. Who is a Libra 8. So that means his key numbers are the 8, 6, and 3. And it means that for the year coming up, this person is going through a 7 personal year. And how I did that, Anthony, was I took the month and day you're born, October the 8th, added to the year coming up, which is 2023, and that factored out to a 7. So the cycle that you're about to go into, so that means, let me just back up a second. This year, what remains of it, the weeks that remains of it, tells me it should have been a pretty good productive year for you because 6 is your secondary number after the 8, and you were in a 6 personal year. So that way you should have done something either with relationships, something with your living space, something with environment, something with your health, all of these things, because it is, I call 6 the romance and finance cycle, makeups, breakups, love, marriage, separation, divorce, moving into a home, moving out of a home, all depending, maybe even going back to school for him or getting involved in a weight loss or exercise program or getting back into the gym. But Anthony is very conservative. Anthony is the kind of person that don't put all his business out there, that is for sure. And as you get to know him, and as, oh, here he is right here, okay? I was just reading Tony. Tony, I didn't know that was you, man, okay? Some people give their birthdays, some people do not. But anyway, this is Tony. I'm reading Anthony Patterson. Forgive me with that. But anyway, born on October the 8th. Those are your numbers, 8, 6, and 3. Saturday, Friday, Thursdays are your best days, and you tend to do well in the months of January, March, May, October, as well as December. All righty. Thank you very, very much for that. All right. And hi to Jazz Numerology and to my man Stephen Williamson. And for those of you all, thank you very much. I am so appreciative. Okay, here we go. Oh, we got another Capricorn 8. This is Shannon Dowling, though. But here's the thing about this person. This person, too, like the person I read a couple of, just a little bit ago, January the 17th of the year that ended in an 8, Well, this person, Shannon Dowling, is also a triple eight too. In other words, she's born in January, which is the sign of Capricorn. She's born on the eighth day, which is ruled by Capricorn. And if you look at 1970 adds a 17, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So she too, like about 2 or 3 callers ago, is a triple eight person. And she says this: why is 8 misunderstood? Of all the numbers I explain in my books, the number 4 and the number 8 tend to be misunderstood more than any other number. And this is why I'll tell a 4 and an 8 person that more than likely, just as people misunderstand you, doctors tend to misdiagnose you too. Doctors don't do it deliberately now. Don't they say, okay, I'm an 8 and I know he's going to give me the wrong prognosis. No. What it simply means is that for 8s and 4s, because of the peculiarity of their situations ruling the planets of Saturn and Uranus, they tend to be misunderstood. So both the 4 and the 8, I would always say, to know you is to love you. And so they tend to be misunderstood. So I tell a 4 or an 8, if they're going to a doctor, they should always, now, I'm not a medical doctor, okay? So that's very obvious, all right? You don't see no MD. I started to say GOD, but you don't see no MD on my thing. But here's the thing. Astrologically, there are golden rules for health procedures. One of them is, if you want to get the exact proper diagnosis, you always should try to set your appointment up when the moon is in a cardinal sign, all right? And this especially applies to number 4 people and number 8 people. What do I mean by cardinal signs, for those of you who may not know? Cardinal signs simply means the seasons that are changing. Aries is a cardinal sign, that's spring. Cancer is a cardinal sign, that's summer. Libra is a cardinal sign, that's fall. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, that's winter. These represent the 4 changing seasons of the zodiac. So all you got to do is just, you don't even need a moon book. All you got to do is get up in the morning and go to Google where's the moon at today. And if the moon is in one of those signs that are cardinal and you are 4 or an 8, then that would be the better time. More than likely, you'll probably get the most accurate prognosis then. Let's say you go a 4 or an 8, go to a doctor, and the doctor finds something that might sound serious, right? I tell 4s and 8s, again, I'm not a doctor, so always good medical opinion, but I tell a 4 and 8, always go and get a second opinion, but don't tell the second doctor what the first doctor unearthed or discovered or diagnosed, because you want to see if that second doctor, unbeknownst to about the first doctor, will come up with the same thing. If they come up with the same thing, more than likely you got it. But 8s tend to be misunderstood. They can't help it. That's why 8s are often thought of as being cold, distant, detached, lacking in feelings and affection. But really, they're just the opposite. They're warm, they're loyal, they're faithful, very, very dependable. And when they feel they have God on their side, when they look to the heavens, they're not budging. Sorry. So 4s and 8s are not known to make the best of friends overnight. But just be yourself, let things be organic, and you'll find that you won't have a problem at all. All righty? So that's what I'm seeing. So there's another person, Edward Thomas, that made a donation, and he is born on the 12th of October, which makes him an air sign with a fire number, which is very complementary to one another. So born on October the 8th, October the 12th in this case, that means their numbers are the 3, the 6, and the 9, and it means that the year coming up, they're going through a 2 personal year. Now, I'm doing this in my head. I don't know whether it's going to be a master number, but I'm not going to assume there is a particular way I calculate to see whether it's a master number or not. So I'll put it this way. If the person is going through a master number year, he will be in a position to do some tremendous things on a very high level, mentally, spiritually. If it's a 2 personal year, it means that, yes, they're going to be going through some changes, but it's going to affect their environment. It's going to affect their living space. It's going to affect their working situations as well as relationships in general. And it doesn't mean boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be something as much as a coworker, a neighbor, a brother or sister, or something of that nature, or they may be asked to settle a peace. But because this person is also going into a 2 personal year, they may wind up actually before the year is over of 2023, make a change in their diet, because they're finding out now that diet is very, very important. So, all right, let's go to this one here. This is Latasha Monique, November the 30th. Happy belated birthday, just 5 days ago. This person is a fire sign with a fire number, born the same day as Shirley Chisholm, who was the first African American woman to run for the presidency of the United States, for those of you who may forget some of your history, okay? But anyway, it tells me Latasha is a person that's very vibrant, very talkative, very expressive, very popular, very well liked, a little flirtatious, etc., etc., etc. She probably say that's not it, but I tell you this, she doesn't look her age. That I can tell you. So if she's ever wondered why these younger men are drawn to me, well, Sagittarius is the youthful sign in the zodiac, and 3 is the youthful number in numerology. So since she has both these combinations going for her at the same time, and by the way, 3 is ruled by Sagittarius. No, excuse me. 3 is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and it rules the number 3 at the same time. So this is going to be a very important year. The difference is with her personal year, she's going to be entering a 3-cycle year also. So there's going to be a whole lot of alignment of Jupiter in her chart this year. And so there's going to be a lot of expansion, a bit of lady luck or good luck, call it what you will, but a lot of things are going to come her way that's going to really open up some doors for her. And if you've been needing to push your career, Miss Latasha, this is the year to do it. By the way, your lucky numbers are the 3, the 6, and the 9, and your best days are Thursday, Tuesday, and Fridays, to name a few. All right, good. Now let me take this person that's made a donation, and this is Chad. I wonder I can't put these up here, but anyway, I'll figure that out later on too, okay? But anyway, as for Chad, he is born on the 29th of December. So his birthday is coming up near the tail end of the end. And in fact, on December the 29th, Chad, Mercury goes retrograde, okay? This is one of the few years where Mercury has gone retrograde 4 times. Normally, traditionally, it's every 3 times a year for 21 days. So there's that 3. Not this year, though. It went back, I think it was in the air going into earth signs or something like that. But, or there was earth signs going into air signs, whichever one. Yes, it was earth signs before it was moving into air signs. So in this case, Chad, since you are a Capricorn and it's on your day, and for those that have never heard of Mercury retrograde or don't know exactly what it means, Mercury is one of the planets in the heavens, and Mercury's been called the communications planet. And when it is in effect, that means things are going normal. The phones, the computers, the cars, everything like that. But when Mercury goes retrograde, that's when the phones act up, the computers act up. My computers act up. I was wondering whether Mercury's retrograde is a little bit off or a little bit before. But the point is that this is the time when Mercury goes retrograde for 21 days. I think it will end on about the 13th or 14th of January. I don't have that information in front of me, but I know it ends in January. When Mercury's retrograde, you don't assume, well, you know what I mean. No, I don't know what you mean. That's the worst time to do it. People will say, Lloyd, meet me at 3. I said, no, man, you said meet you at 2. And then people get into arguments. It's the worst time to sign contracts. It is the worst time to get cars or any electronics for that matter. They normally tell you, if possible, try to avoid during that period of 21 days. Now, well, you'll get a car, but it'd be your luck, the lemon in the car. You'll get a computer, but it'd be your luck, you'll have to take it back or something. And signing contracts is the worst, because don't forget, as the lawyers say, well, the insurance company you used to work for says the large words added, the small words take it away. But the lawyers say you got to read the fine print. So when Mercury's retrograde, just don't assume. It will be to your advantage, and slow it down. Slow your roll, okay? That's it. And so, Chad, thank you very much for that, buddy. I appreciate that. Okay, that was Latasha. Let's see who this is. Let's see who else we got here. And I thank everybody very much. Now, this is Kenny Muhammad, all right? Now, Kenny Muhammad is an earth sign, he's a water sign with an earth number. These are elements to go together. So a person will say, well, Lloyd, what do you mean? Well, if you've done any experience with planting, you take rich seeds and you put those seeds in rich soil. That's the earth. However, the seeds can stay in the soil for 100 years until you magically come along and water them. So with him being a water sign and an earth number, I would say in essence this is a nurturing, mature, serious-minded individual who probably had relationships with older women, which is none of my business, okay? But because he's got those old soul numbers up there, it does suggest he does. Because he's an eight, the tendency with most eights initially is to be misunderstood. That's why with fours and eights, I tell them don't try to bend your back trying to make an impression, because almost always it'll be read wrong. So just be yourself, let it be, and those who can pick up on the energy that you exhibit, they will be. But if you're trying to catch a lot of friends, fours and eights are normally not. Normally that's not their best, shall we say, objective. But anyway, that's what I see. So in your case, Kenny, your lucky numbers are the 8, 2, and 7, which means that Saturday, Monday, and Fridays are your best days without question. Alrighty. So now we go to Robbie Wilson, and this is a Sagittarius also, except this person is a Sagittarius 5 person. So this person is a right mix of air and fire. Okay? They have a fire sign with an air number. Now, the thing about Robbie's birthday is this, that this year she too will be in a 5 personal year that matches her birthday exactly. How do you get the personal year? I just know somebody's asked me that. It's simple. You take the month and day you were born, and then you add it to the year in question. I like this technique because you can say, well, what year was that in the past that I graduated? What cycle was I in when I got married? What cycle I was in when I hit that lottery, or whatever significance or dramatic things you went through. If you can recall the year, just add your month and day of birth to it, and it will tell you, therefore, your personal year. And therefore, in this case, Robbie, since you will be entering in a 5 personal year, and you're born on the 23rd, which is a 5, that and 5 represents opportunities, represents breakout moments. I would expect this is going to be a breakout year for you. And because when I say things that have yet to happen, what I'll do is I'll go back in the past. I'll say, for example, what you're going to be going through in 2023 is what you may have experienced, if you can remember, in 2014. Or even go back even further to 2005. Why? Because 2005 adds up to the year of the 7. 2014 adds up to the year of the 7. For those that may not get it, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 is 7. And this year coming up, 2023, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. The difference of 2005, 2014 plus versus this year coming up is this person now, I would assume, is older, of course, wiser, more experienced, more seasoned, and if nothing else, they can, know if they don't know anything else, they know what they don't want. So just that alone will help them in their decision making. But people born on the 23rd, that tends to be one of the luckiest days to be born on. So that tells me Robbie knows people who know people, which is how they may have met their mate, got their job, found their place to live, got that car, whatever the case is. But this is going to be, without question, a very, very exciting year for them. And I wish them nothing but the best, okay? And happy birthday coming up. No, happy birthday past. I think it was just before Thanksgiving, okay? Hi, Lady E. Boy. That's my Leo lady. Okay, so let's see who else we got here. Okay, this is Adrian, February the 15th, being an air sign with an earth number. Now, in astrology terms, they would say this is square because these elements aren't blending like fire and air, earth and water. So when I say square, not bad. It's just that their way of thinking sometimes is a little different. So the Aquarian side is very unique, very different, very futuristic. But the 6th side of this person's nature is more conservative, more kind of like cautious in a way. That's the nature of a 6. But they're friendly, pleasant, great companion, great camaraderie, things of that nature. With 6s, I always put, especially the women who are 6s, not so the men, but the women I notice, they're always a work in progress. Either want to go to school or take a course or a workshop or a seminar or something. But they're always about taking themselves to the next level. And this person also will be in a 6 personal year. Now, 6 is called the romance and finance cycle. So, Adrian, I don't know what the deal is, but I know if romance is what you're looking for, it will be present. If finance is what you're looking for, all of that will be within your purview. Again, all you got to do is look at 2014, which added the last year that added to a number 7 with those 4 numbers. And if you can remember how things went emotionally, romantically, with relationships or other things, or how your resources were, well, hopefully this time around, if nothing else in that past of 2014, that you will be in a much, much better position because of your maturity, your wisdom, your understanding, which is why they used to say why youth and wisdom don't go together. It is true, okay? You want to be smart and whatever the case is. Now, let me take this person. Oh, by the way, with Adrian, so we don't leave her out, your lucky numbers are the 6, 2, and 7. Fridays and Mondays are your best days, okay? So now I want to take this person who donated, Shake 'em Shakes. They're born June the 7th. Now, it's interesting. June the 16th was, which is 1 plus 6 is 7, was Tupac Shakur's birthday. But this birthday, June the 7th, is Prince's birthday, all right? But wherever you see 7 people, whether they're the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th, they love to analyze. They love to kind of dissect and go down the rabbit hole to figure out why you say what you said and why you did the things you do. 7 personalities have minds of their own, which definitely Prince exhibited in the music industry. He said, "Listen, I'm the artist. It was just the artist. He didn't even get no name. He got his own rights back." But that's the nature of a 7. Tupac was too in his own way also. But 7 people are very independent in their way of thinking, in their way of analysis, in their way of researching and investigating, and they can be sarcastic if you catch them on a bad day too. Not that he would, but in this case though, their lucky numbers are the 7, 2, and 5, and their best days are Monday and Friday. Alrighty, so let's see who else we have here. And again, I want to thank everybody. This is Kimberly Leiter, okay, and she made a donation, but she didn't give a birthday. But anyway, thanks so much, Kimberly. Really much appreciated too. Okay. Oh, here she is. There's the birthday. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Kimberly, let's see. Let me close this window here. And you are born May 1st. So you are, young lady, a earth sign with a fire number. Now that might seem contradictory to a degree, but let me explain. We know that if there's a fire, the major element you get to distinguish fire is water. And what the second one is dirt or earth. So sometimes you might be kind of like going against your own best interest, sometimes fired up about something, and yet reserved about how the outcome or what the expectations will be. Don't worry about people's expectations. First of all, you're born in a fixed sign, you're born under a money sign, and you're born under a leadership number. So you got more things going for you than you know. And so it does suggest that at some point in your career, work, or whatever the case is, you've either been a manager, supervisor, director. Even if you didn't have a title, everybody had enough sense to say, "You see Miss Leitner over there? Don't go mess with her." That's the point. Your lucky numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. And in fact, this is the same birthday as Grace Jones. Hold on to the bumper. That's her. She was also, and she was very direct, which is all the nature of 1 people is. They can't help themselves. That's why I tell you, if you don't want the truth, if you know somebody's born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, 28th, or if they're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, don't tell them what do you think, especially if you want a softball answer. It's not going to happen, because if you do something that's not bright, they're going to let you know. Okay, so just be very clear about that too. So with you, Kimberly, again, your numbers are the 1, 4, and 9, and your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. All right? Good. This is Antonia. They are born on October 29th, and that makes them a Libra. Nope. I stand corrected. That makes them a Scorpio 2 person. Okay? So they are a water sign with a water number. So now we have an element that doubles itself. Water, we know, metaphysically represents feelings, emotions, hunches, intuitions, affections, things of that nature. But it's repeated not only in the sign that's governed by water, but the birth number of Antonia is also ruled by water in and of itself. So that means that you, Antonia, should always follow your first feelings. I don't care what nobody says. Oh, that don't make no sense. You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe not. But I'd rather you follow your feelings and look safe on the backside of it than to go against your feelings and look silly on the other side of it. So that choice is up to you, because we do have sometimes in all societies or cultures, I guess, where people will test you and, well, what do you know and who told you that and whatnot. But if they understood the nature of a two and water signs and water elements, they don't have to explain it like that. They just got a feeling about it. That's the difference between a psychic and a numerologist and astrologer. So when you're talking to a psychic, they will use certain terms. I feel that so and so. I sense that so and so. I believe that so and so. You know what I'm saying? It's not concrete. Astrology and numerology are concrete. If your planet is 90 degrees, or if it's 45 degrees, or whatever the case is, it tells an astrologer the relationship between one house against the other, one planet against another. So that's more scientific. But that's the difference. So in this case, Antonio, you need a hug twice a day too, affectionate wise and whatnot. So it's interesting. And even the year she's born in 1973 is a water year. So water is a very predominant thing. And thus, I would say you should increase your intake of water. Make sure you drink water every morning, as Dr. Sabi and Dick Gregory would always suggest. That should be the first thing. As soon as your feet hit the floor, is have some water. And if you are under some moods or not feeling in a funk, or if you're feeling in a funk and stuff, you should always go near a body of water. Okay, water is very soothing for the soul in your case, Antonio. Okay, by the way, your lucky numbers are the 2, 7, and 6, and Mondays and Fridays are your best days. Okay, so let's see. We got another person here that's made a donation. Aisha Bridgewater. Thank you, Aisha. You didn't give a birthday, but if you do, let me know and I'll do that. But at least I'm trying to get some acknowledgments. Again, this part of it, of people donating, this is kind of new for me. So I'll get the hang of it, just like it took me a while to get this one. Okay. All right. Let's see now. Okay, we got this person here. Kendra Third. They are a Virgo. They are an earth sign with a fire number. These are elements that are, well, they're not the friendliest elements, that's all. And the earth sign means the person that is very, very into things that make sense. If it don't make sense, what are we talking about? But the person also has a lot of passion. And here's what's interesting to me historically about this birthday. The first African-American mayor of New York City, David Dinkins, was born, I'm sorry. He was born on the 1st of July, the 10th of July, excuse me. But in other words, but I'm saying, but this is the birthday of Eric Adams, the present African-American mayor and the only second African-American mayor of New York City. So their numbers are, your numbers, Candy, are the 1, 4, and 5. And 1 people normally are very upfront, in your face. And this particular year that you're going into is a year that says, okay, you're going to be doing a lot of growing up. You're going to be handling your business. You are in a finance and romance cycle. So finance meaning getting your finances together, and especially getting all legal papers together, documents, wills, trusts, whatever the case is, insurance papers, that and that way. But at the same time, you're in the kind of year where you should aim for the sun, even if you only hit the moon, but think big. Also, the cycle you'll be entering for 2023 will bring a lot of people back into your life that you may not have seen or heard from in quite some time. So that's it. By the way, again, your lucky numbers are the 1, 4, and 5. And your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday. All righty. You got to watch your eyes, too, because each number rules a part of the body that's explained in my books, Numbers in You. All righty. So thank you so much. Okay. This person, Jaslyn Kelly, says, hey there, could they get a reading? You certainly can. This person is born November 18th. Now, this is a water sign with a fire number. So it might be contradictory, but let me explain. I don't know whether you people are familiar with this TV host, Wendy Williams. She is a water sign with a fire number. Now, here's what that means. Water brings out the more sensitive, emotional, intuitive, and sensitive side of the nature. Fire brings out that passion, that determination, that conviction to, okay, we ain't taking no prisoners today. So if you notice, for those that have watched her shows on a regular basis, Wendy will come out there one day where that water's kicking and be all sensitive, and somebody didn't like her review, and she's got a napkin she's ready to put in her eye. And then she'll come out another day where she's fire, and she ain't taking those stuff from nobody. So, Jaslyn, you may exhibit some of those qualities too, young lady. That's all I'm saying. It all depends on what day of the week they catch you on. But I'll say this to you. Your personal year for 2023 will be a 9. Again, anytime your personal year cycle is matching your date of birth cycle, that will prove very significant. So that means with you, there's going to be a cycle where you bring things to a head. There's going to be a fulfillment of some of the things you've been wanting to do and manifest for quite some time. You're going to be cutting your losses and closing the books on bad situations, even the way you've been thinking, especially if it's been negative or toxic towards yourself and others, because there is this thing called self-sabotage where sometimes we do things to ourselves, although we like to blame somebody else, but we do get into some self-sabotage moments. And so that way you know what's going on. And it also indicates some travel, some kind of travel, whether long distances to travel. And if you don't travel afar, then maybe somebody from afar will come past your door. Alrighty. By the way, your lucky numbers are the 9, 6, and 3. These are the Tesla numbers. He says those who understand the 13, and Nikola Tesla, not the Tesla, but the other person. I'm talking about Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor born on July the 10th, back in the day. All right, they discovered the DCAC current. Okay. Anyway, so that's you. And by the way, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays are always your best days without exceptions. And Jasmine, I would say, from your birthday, you tend to attract men in uniform too. Police, construction, military, sanitation, bus driver, something. They wear uniform and handling tools. They be feeling you, girl. So you know how you ladies say you got a bad hair day? All you got to do is walk past a construction site. I guarantee you're going to get somebody's attention before you go from one point to the other side, all right? Thanks, Jaslyn. Okay, here we go. Steven, this is my buddy from Chicago, and he's always making a donation. This is for his beautiful wife, Carol. She is on the 22nd of June. Now, in some cases, she would be described as a borderline case. In astrology, there's a period known as the cusping phase, which is around the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd. The only exception is in the sign of Aquarius because that is the shortest month, okay? So it'll start as early as the 18th or the 19th, not the 20th. By the time it's in the 20th, you're definitely in the Pisces like Sidney Poitier, who's born February 20th, okay? But be that as it may, so I would say you would be more of a Cancer. So that way, Stephen, the Mrs., her key numbers would be the 4, 1, 2, and 7. She would have 4 numbers, the 4, the 1, the 2, and the 7. So what does that mean? That means that each number is assigned a day. Now, there are a couple of sets of numbers that come. There's the sun numbers, which is the 4 and the 1, or the 1 and the 4. Think of them as being glued together. One can't do without the other. And the second set are the moon numbers, which is a 2 and a 7. And look at them as being glued, that one can't do without the other. So if you say it's 7, it's a 2. If you say it's a 2, it's a 7. Well, she happens to possess all 4 numbers. So she happens to possess the numbers of the sun and the moon. And these are the 2 planets that govern our solar system as we know it here as Earth. So that means she likes to be different. She's very sensitive. And this year coming up, she's ready to make some power moves. No question about it. Okay, so between now, whether it's in retirement, whether it's coming of age, and I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't talk to you, Stephen, about maybe we need to get a plot of land or get something, or a house or something of that nature. So her year has nothing to do with it as so much as a cycle of the numerical influence that she's going through, which is the 8 that makes her mature And since it's an earth number, it wants possessive of earth or owning of something connected with the earth in some way, shape, or form. All right. So those are her numbers. Thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate that, buddy. Okay. Now let's see who we got here. Let's go to the other side of this, and this is I'm we. Okay, this person is born on January the 6th, which makes them an earth sign with an earth number. Now, see, now this is a person who's doubly practical. You know how you see these action figures, these action characters in a movie, and they run down the hall and jump out the window? He ain't doing it. Sorry. If you waiting for this brother to do that, you got the wrong person, okay? And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, if I do his birthday, I don't know whether you remember the guy who developed this DeLorean car, the famous DeLorean car. That's the birthday. And also Van McCoy, who do the hustle, the disco king of that day. He was born in Washington, D.C., but that's his birthday too. But anyway, this person would be, again, really into things of a commonsensical nature, things that are more reasonable, not excessive, things that are more conservative, not extravagant. And so probably with women, I notice who's a 6, their wardrobe is normally very traditional and classic. I would assume that the men will too, that this guy's not going to have no way out off-color suits like, purple, teal color and all that stuff. He's going to have something that's blue. Blue rules 6. So blue from the lightest to the darkest will be to his advantage. And because he's Capricorn, that rules the darker colors like black and navy blue and stuff like that. So if he leans toward dark blue and black and navy blue and black, stuff like that, that would not surprise me at all. But this person would make an excellent lawyer. This person would make an excellent realtor, make a superb banker for all that, for all I know. And this person also knows how to read a person like a book. So my class that's on sale, by the way, my first class that I came out with in February of 2020 that to this day is still listed as a bestseller. I named it after the number 6. It's called Learn from Lloyd, How to Read a Person Like a Book. I got that from a 6. Because 6 rules the sixth sense. So whether you're a Taurus, whether you're a Libra, or whether you're born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, don't play them. They may not be able to prove what they're feeling, but normally what they're feeling is right on point. And then they will tell you what you can't stand. I told you so. So by the way, your lucky numbers, MWIM, is the 6, the 8, and the 3. Those are always your numbers, alrighty? And your best days, of course, can't leave those out, are always on Friday and Saturday and Thursday. In that order, not according to the week order, but in that order. And this is Shimsi. She is born July 20th. Now, this is a water sign with a water number and a water year. Now, notice, the sign is a 7, which rules Cancer, which is water. They're born on the 20th day. 2 plus 0 is 2, which rules water. And notice the year they're born in, 20. So this person across the board is full of water, full of emotions, full of feelings and affection. Very, very romantic, by the way, too. And definitely into neatness. So I'm telling you, if you're dealing with a number 2 person, guys, especially the women, they are about neatness as a rule. Okay, you can't go in there all sloppy, smelling like you want to. I mean, you could, but you ain't gonna get too far with that piece, okay? And you can't be rolling her up on Mickey D's too, because number 2 people are normally very finicky and fussy, and particular about their eating habits and their dietary laws. And I'm sure that she will exhibit those qualities quite well. Alrighty. So her lucky numbers, by the way, are the 2, 7, and 6. And by the way, in numerology, the 3 psychic numbers are the 2, the 6, and the 7, and she possesses all 3 of them. So guys, if there's anybody dealing with this sister, don't play her. That is, if you don't want to get your feelings hurt. But hey, that's up to you. But it can't be said we didn't have this conversation on the Live with Lloyd show. Alrighty. So let's do this. This person is Nikki. And she made a contribution, and she's born July the 31st, the same day as actor Wesley Snipes and a couple other famous people of note. Anyway, she is a fire sign. Her key numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. She has all the numbers as the former President of the United States, Barack Obama, except he was born in August into it, and she's born in the very early stages of Leo. But her numbers are 4. 4 people, no matter where you see them, love to be different. It's almost like they can't help themselves. They're not trying to be contrary to work your nerves. Their nature is always to kind of do something a little different than what everybody else is doing, okay? Believe me, that's why 4 is a standout, and that's why I call 4 the number of secret enemies, because people often always are either jealous of them, envious of them. It's always something, okay? And so they'll be on a job trying to figure out, like, I'm just trying to show some love up in here. I don't understand all this drama, this confusion, and this hating, but that's what happens. So to know them is to love them. Again, she's a 4, and 4, like 8s, are often misunderstood or misread initially, but yet they're very sensitive, and you got to get to know them. So I tell a 4 like you, Nikki, or 8 person like some of them that call, don't worry about trying to make no impression. Just be yourself, and over time, those that are meant to be with you will be with you. You can't take everybody with you, and because a person has 1,000 friends, that don't mean they're all friends, okay? That's why they call them frenemies too. Okay, so somebody made that word up and they made it exactly. By the way, again, your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, and your best days are Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and your best months are always in June, July, August, and September. Thank you very, very much on that one. Okay, this is Lady Blossom, and she's born June the 13th, so she's an air sign with an air number. Her numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, just like Nikki's, who we just read. 4, no, hers, yes, the 4, 1, and 5. Hers the 4, 1, and 5 also. Except Lady is under the constellation of Gemini, okay, where Nikki's under the constellation of Leo. So Lady would bring this air to air, and that means always in your head, always something going on, always something to think about, okay? You know, so if you wonder why it's hard for you to go to sleep sometime, that's because being an air sign with an air number, you're always either trying to figure out something is going on that you need to take a look at. Alrighty? And so your numbers, again, are the 4, 1, 5, and that means that Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays, 2 are your best days. And like Nikki, your best months are always February, June, July, August, and September. Okay? Thanks so much, Lady Blossom. Let's see who else we got here. Raul, thank you very much. Did he give a birthday? Yes, 5/24. So he is a Gemini 6 person. So that means your key numbers, sir, are the 6, 5, and 9. It means for the year coming up, you're going through a 9 personal year. So that means you're going to have to let some things go, yet at the same time fulfill some of the things you have been after personally as a person, Raul. And at the same time, again, stay and see, when a person's in the 9 cycle year, it does mean to motivate, to stimulate, to bring out the best in people, but it also means to avoid anything that leads to static, confrontation, drama, and a lot of nonsense, because it is an argumentative type of cycle to go through too, to the negative, and especially if one is around knives or guns or sharp instruments. And so those are the things to be avoided at all costs. Take the high road, be the humanitarian, bring out the best in people, be the master of your fate, the captain of your ship. Determine anything that's in your best interest, and you will do fine. Alrighty? So thank you very much for that. Here we have Spiritual K. She's August 29th. This was Michael Jackson's birthday. And it's interesting. People who may not know, for the jazz world, this was also Charlie Parker's birthday. Charlie Parker was a jazz musician during the 40s and the 50s, you know what I'm saying, 60s, and they used to call him the king of bop. No, the king of bop. But Michael Jackson, who's born on the same day, they call him the king of hop. Yeah, that's right. One was king of bop, one was the king of hop, and that was Michael Jackson. Anyway, so your numbers, you're earth sign with a water number. It means practical, sensitive, down to earth, yet emotional about a lot of things that can feel things. And your key numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays are your best days. And you always tend to do well in May and June, July, September, and October. And you need a hug twice a day too, okay? Got that straight. All right, so let's see who we got here. This is Indigo, November the 14th. This is Blue Pill and Red Pill's birthday. My brother's birthday. King Charles's birthday. He's King Charles now, not Prince Charles anymore. He's King Charles, okay? Anyway, this birthday indicates a person who likes their space. And anytime you see the 14, which is a 5, they love air. This is considered one of the karmic numbers in numerology. All these things are given in some of my Learn from LLoyd series that's online. I'll tell you how to get that soon. But this is how you do it, folks, okay? So in your case, you're going into a year that's going to match in lockstep with your date of birth. You'll be entering a 5 personal year. You're born on the 14th as a 5, so it means it's going to be a very, very auspicious moment for you to do the things you want to do for the better, to make changes of a major way in which you need it in one way or another. So in that way, it's going to be very, very good. Again, your numbers are the 5, 6, and no, it's the 5, 9, and 6. Let's get it right. The 5 first, then the 9, then the 6. And so Wednesday, Tuesday, and Fridays are always your best days, and I thank you. This is Rod Divine, and they are December 6th. Their birthday is coming up mañana, in fact, tomorrow. So happy birthday. He's a fire sign with an earth number. So that means in one hand, having that fiery compassion, which all Sagittarians do, which is active, energetic, forceful. And so perhaps that's why it's no accident that many of the world's greatest comics have been Sagittarius, from Flip Wilson to Red Fox to Richard Pryor to Sam Kinison. I mean, there's a host of others that go on. I mean, not that Rodney Dangerfield, another Sagittarius comic, but they tend to just lead the field when it comes to comedians. Not that you don't have others in Cancer like Bill Cosby or some other people, but for the main, most comedians tend to come out of this sign more than any others, including the famous Mom Mabley, who said the only thing a woman can do for her is bring her a man, whatever that means, okay? So anyway, so that's how I'm seeing that. But in this case, since you were born December the 6th, 6, 3, and 9 are your best day numbers. Your best days are Friday, Thursday, and Tuesdays, working backwards, not Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but Friday first, then Thursday, then Tuesday. And it means you have this ability to pass judgment very well, to know how things are likely to turn out. And normally 6 people are about justice. They're about the strong sense of right and wrong and being correct in what they do. All righty? So the time has gone by. I can't believe an hour's gone by already, but I'm going to read just a couple of more, tell you about some of the things that's going on, and then we will wait until Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to have an interesting gentleman on, which I'll tell you about in just a moment, okay? And this person here says, can they get a reading? And yes, you can. Natalie Niles, who is born on April the 25th. This person is an earth sign with a water number. And these are elements that are very friendly to each other. And so therefore, Natalie will be the kind of person that's very analytical, very into herself, very independent. But you know, I noticed one thing about 7 women, either the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th. Since 7s are normally very reserved and they low key and they like to stay under the radar, most women, when they deal with other 7 women, will at times allude or accuse them incorrectly that they're snooty or stuck up or who does she think she is? And it's not about that, but 7 women are normally very discreet, discriminating, and don't put all their business on the street. So I would say that with Natalie, even her best friends don't know everything about it. They think they do. But her numbers are the 7, 2, and 6, and Mondays and Fridays are always her best days. And I thank you. Okay, so let's see who else we got here. Well, Goddess Glow, she is September 25th. So she's a water sign with a fire number. She's born the same day as Will Smith and the guy that played Columbo, Peter Falk, and a couple other famous people of note. Christopher Reeve that played Superman, that was his birthday too. I think he's still, I'm not, but anyway, that's his birthday. But anyway, your numbers are the 7, 2, and 6, just like the one that was born April the 25th. And so 7s are normally very, very sophisticated. The difference of the 25 is normally they got the powers of observation. They don't miss a trick. You may think they sleep at the wheel, but you let them take a test and they'll win with flying colors because you thought they wasn't paying no attention. Do not mess with 9 people like that. They just don't play that. So in other words, so with Goddess Glow, They do worry. And so since the year is a 7, and she is a 7, it's going to be a very interesting year because she will be in a 5 personal year. When I took the month and day she's born and added it to the year I want to know about, she will be in a 5. So she's at the midway point in her 9-year cycle. And so that means this is the thing where she may have a turnaround period and whatnot. I wish I could read everybody, but at 106, hour and 6 minutes, I'm going to have to call this a day until next time. So what I'm going to try to do is take at least 1 or 2 series in a month where I'm on to answer some of your questions, okay? All of my guests are not, of course, astrologers, numerologists, but all of my guests do bring to the table something that is very significant. So this Wednesday, I'm going to bring a man on that his name is Henry Smith Jr. He is a Taurus, May 18th. He's going to talk about his experience of being wrongly incarcerated for over 20 odd years for a murder he never committed. And so it might bring a nice lesson to people how you've got to watch things and the precariousness sometimes of this culture, this society when it comes to people of color and even non-people of color. Even white people also have been accused falsely of doing something, but it seems to be a little bit more predominant on this side of the fence. And so he's going to have an interesting story to tell. For some of you, you may find it boring, but I would like to think if you listen, you're going to find some interesting stories to have with that. So in the meantime, let me say this to you. I do have my classes are on sale right now. You just got to go to LLoyd-Strayhorn.com. The December newsletter, there was a glitch because the person that I write was kind of tied up, but that's going to be straight. So you should be getting it within the next day or two, the December monthly forecast. But for the news, I think you got up until Wednesday, the 7th, to take advantage of my online courses. They're all on sale. And you just go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLoyd-Strayhorn, Strayhorn. I do want to thank Jazz, my moderator. God bless her soul. I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Stephen and Carol Williams from Chicago that every week they're so supportive. And all of you. And believe me, I did not get into this for the thing of money. Somebody showed me on 19 Keys, they said, oh, Lloyd, you can do this and this, you can make a ton of money, so and so. That was not the purpose of being on the Brothers Show. 19 Keys got me on because he saw me on Black Magic, okay? And I knew Black Magic through King Simon. So this world is very small and we're all connected. So it shows you none of us can exist by ourselves, although you can fool some people and think they can do that. But I'm here to tell you everything is connected. And once you know how things are connected, and I'm so glad my parents taught me, never forget who helped you. And then this way you will always see a connection of your point A getting to your point of point B and Z and stuff in life. Okay, so that's very important. So everybody, I think that's it. Okay, so please sign up for the free monthly newsletter. You'll get the new one soon. Also, sign up for the online courses. It's called Learn from Lloyd, How to Read a Person Like a Book. Learn from Lloyd, The Next Step in Numerology. And Learn from Lloyd, The Do's and Don'ts that were co-created by Jackie Levine and myself, okay? And that's good. And that's beginning to get some traction, too. So for all of you that sign up for these courses, sign up for the newsletter, thank you. In the meantime, folks, y'all have a blessed day. And I will see you in a couple of days, okay, with my very special guest. His name is Henry Smith Jr., a very humble brother, but very powerful. But if you know, he's a Taurus and he's a number 9. So you can understand his consistency and persistence in overturning the case against him the way he was falsely accused of a murder. But I'll let him explain all that. But in the meantime, y'all take care, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Peace.